up, guys? Welcome to another video of Feed the Beast Monsters. Lack of energy, so I think this will be the second. No, this will be a few more videos towards everything. If you haven't seen in the previous, there are episodes throughout the journey of where it landed to where I'm at right now. If you can't tell, there is a book behind me, bookshelves, and there's also a book right here in my inventory. We got into thaumcraft early. We used our iron cap wand to craft this. We went to a local village and we were able to make this. So throughout the journey, we are going to learn about thaumcraft. To craft the Thaumonomicon, you must simply use your wand on the bookshelf placed in the world. The Thaumonomicon is a reference book of all things thaumaturgical. It lists all the discoveries you have made so far and gives you a general impression how many there are still to be made. However, you successfully research something, use the scroll, it will automatically be added to this book. You can then browse through the discoveries and click on them to be shown more detailed information regarding them, as well as any crafted recipes associated with these discoveries. Alright, so knowledge of fragments. In your travels, you might happen upon fragments of ancient and lost knowledge. On their own, they are only worth a few research points when used, but if you gather enough of them together, you might gain unique research that you can pursue. Usually, the research they reveal cannot be gained through normal means. The fragments of knowledge can, on occasion, lead to a false theory, but this will be revealed when you attempt to research it. When this happens, most of your knowledge fragment will be returned to you, and this usually means you have exhausted all current avenues of research into lost knowledge. I think we're just going to read this, see where it goes. Before you can build most thaumaturgical items and blocks, you must first learn to discover how to do so. There are several steps in the process. One, exploring the world and examining blocks, items, and creatures with a thaummeter. 2, taking the research points you've gathered from the first step and expanding your aspect knowledge with the research table. 3, using the aspects you've known and discovering practical knowledge and recipes with the research table. Number 1, exploration. You cannot perform research without research points, and the best way to gain research points is by exploration and examining objects in this world. The first thing you will need to do is construct a thaummeter. See next page. By pointing the thaummeter at objects or creatures and holding the right mouse button, you will start examining them. The process does not take long, but your movement speed is reduced while it is occurring. Once complete, the thaummeter will display which aspect the object contains. In the bottom right of the screen, you will also see a summary of the aspects and research points. Nice. The workbench, which takes 2 air shards, 1 glass, and I think any type of glass at this point, and 2 golds. So 2 golds, 2 blue shards. I think I remember having blue shards, and if I don't, but I'm pretty certain I did. Yes, I do. I do have blue shards. Alright. Then, I need 2 of these.
I think you attacked Allison after you found out that they were sleeping together. You saw her necklace. You figured fancy jewelry worked with one girl, it's gonna work with the other. It's not like that. No.
And then
He defended you over Allison. I'm gonna tell you why. She's 18. She's about the age of consent. If the truth comes out, if he's with her, you have to look down at the God. You're 17. If he gets caught with you, that's statutory.
Let's smelt that up.
Castle will stand by you.
We're gonna make this so-called workbench.
And we took advantage.
I don't know how that's gonna work
What
though.
happened to you?
Oh wait, we already made it though. Yeah. Fuck. I already made it. I already have one. Why did I thought I didn't have a thaum meter? At first, I am so confused. Alright. Workbench. You discovered. You will initially not be able to examine all objects since you have not discovered their component aspects. For example, an object containing the lux aspect can only be examined if you have previously discovered the lux aspect or know the two aspects that combine to create it. The very first time you discover an aspect by examining something, you gain 2 more research points than you would have normally. Objects and creatures can usually only ever be examined once. Occasionally examining something will reveal additional clues and insights into thaumaturgical research, unlocking subjects that you can research further. Research discovered in this fashion will have amber icons. Workbench, shapeless. Glass. I need 3. And I need clay. But I don't have clay. Do I? Yes, I do have clay.
I can't believe it. You said that you loved me. Darcy, if you testify, you'll be all over the news. It'll ruin your life. Darcy, it'll ruin your life.
Alright, got that down. We need a feather and ink set, which is something I probably do not have. So I'm gonna thoroughly look through all of my so-called things. I have eggs. I could use that, but I'd be wasting. I also got cinnamon? I don't know. I'm thinking because I remembered having I do remember having something related to ink set. But I really don't have feathers. I don't have feathers. Okay. I need to discover more. This is how I'm going to be able to spawn in the mobs that I'm looking for. Sorry. Nice. Gain 1 research point. Nice. Did it. Okay. I need sheeps. No, I need feathers. So a bunch of squids. Which, I don't know where the squids are. Pretty sure the squids are supposed to be in water. I might be wrong. But aren't they supposed to be in deep waters? There they are. Alright, now we got everything we need. We got our feather, we got our glass stuff, we got our ink set. We can finally make things for the, Alright, I got 2 of them. I think I only need 1. Oh, I must have overdid it. Alright, got that down. Scribing tools. These are different ways to make them. Combining aspects. Once you have gathered some research points, you can attempt to combine them in compound aspects within the research table. Craft a research table. Simply place 2 tables together to each other. Click on them with a set of scribing tools. The recipe for the table is listed under the Artiface Research category. If you open the research table's inventory, you will see an interface as pictured on the right. The scribing tools you use to craft the table will be located in slot 1. Okay? You should see all the primal aspects and possibly some compound aspects listed in the area marked 3 with varying amounts attached to them. When you enter a world for the first time, every player is assigned a small pool of primal aspects to get them started. If you had done some exploring with the thaummeter beforehand, then you might have a significant number of primal and compound aspects listed here. You can now start combining aspects into more complex compound aspects by simply clicking on those you wish to combine or dragging it to the runed circles in Area 4. The selected aspects will appear in Area 4, and when you have 2 selected, pressing the purple button will attempt to combine them. If successful, you should see what was gained in the bottom right, and it should appear in Area 3. The component aspects are consumed even if the combination did not result in valid compound aspects. You need to be carrying a set of scribing tools and paper for the steps. If you open your Thaumonomicon, you will see all the knowledge and also all the knowledge that you are now able to pursue. Flashing square round icons represent primary researchers. If you can read their title instead of seeing strange runes, you are simply able to click on them. Paper and ink will be consumed from your inventory and you will gain a research note. You can now take this research note to the table to start researching it by placing it in slot 2. Section 5 will now display a sheet of paper covered in hexagonal tiles with aspect icons around the outer edge. If you see a question mark icon, it means you do not know the aspect yet, and you will need to learn it first. Cool. To complete your research, you simply need to connect and activate all the aspects. You do this by dragging an aspect to a hex adjacent to it that is either composed of the target aspect or can be combined with another aspect to form the target aspect. Placing the aspect consumes 1 research point. If you make a mistake, you can click on the aspect to remove it, but you will not regain the research point. You continue doing until you have formed a pattern connecting all the starting aspects. The outer aspects need not to be connected to all the others, simply need to form a connected whole. Once this is done, the research will complete and the research note will turn into a discovery. Note: placing or moving aspects from the hex grid consumes ink from your scribbling tools. If it runs out, you will not be able to proceed until you fill it. Hexagonal icons indicate secondary research. Much like primary research, you just need to click on it. However, instead of gaining a research note, you'll simply learn the research directly. Secondary research doesn't have an aspect cost you need to pay, but they do not require you to be carrying scribing tools or paper. Ooh. So, we have to take this to a table. We put the table side by side, which is like this, and this, and we take our scribing tool. There we go, and we got ourselves something. This is what we have to do. There are a bunch of stuff. So I think at the top, it was telling us that we need a research paper. So we gotta learn how to put stuff to the second one. It doesn't really tell you as much if you read the title instead of doing research. Okay, I gotta reread this because I already did this. Paper? Wait, I need paper? I never knew I needed paper. Paper?
Wow. Really? I'm not sure. Maybe we should skip.
Scribing tool. I guess it's just paper? Okay. I think these are the ones that we've learned so far throughout this journey. These are the ones that I had learned. Of course, if you didn't know, like learning a few things or two about thaumcraft is you need to research before you're able to get your mobs, which is the tainted mods. And I learned that the hard way about things, so yeah, I learned that. It's so simple. In order to make new items, you gotta combine certain stuff. So, and if it don't work, you can probably see here on why. So stone and life doesn't really give you anything because we have everything in here. So I think the only thing we need to do is find a way to make a research paper, which is definitely the hardest part throughout this game. So making the research paper shouldn't take this long to do. I'm certain that it's not hard research. I mean, research notes. I mean, there ain't no way to make it because I need a paper somehow, which is something I already got. I got a paper. I got everything, but it didn't tell me what to do exactly. So we're gonna go. Gave me diamond. Tree. Pipe.
Accurate. Remind me, you got a 9.3. Congratulations, Kate. You outscored me on the sheep research for the first and last time ever. Maybe we get the sheriff a bit of score. Are you implying that Mr. gives me special treatment? I'm implying, I'm saying. Admit it, Kendall. You're a teacher's pet. Whatever. Oh, whatever. Okay, so when King Bully had to escort that witness at his house, did you let you in charge?
I gain a bunch of research points throughout this. So, me discovering new animals. I need a chicken. I'm gonna research. I don't think I researched water yet, and if I did, I did. Go. Food wise. Plants.
So the nose were in that vehicle, the bodyguards were in the stalled vehicle, another SUV cut them off, and 3 mouse men jumped out. One laid down suppressing fire, the other 2 pulled Miller's tax money out of the vehicle.
Okay, well, nothing can be learned from that part. Okay, cool. I wanted to learn a little bit about everything before we dive deep into like the new mobs throughout thaumcraft. So thaumcraft has new mobs. Thaumcraft has mobs. So, you know, if you learn a bit or so about your different mobs that you have and that isn't related to thaumcraft, you can learn how to get them to taint. There are some things you can learn before you get into that part. So, that being said, we're going to learn a few things or two before we get to that part of the game itself. So, we're going to come back in here. We got a bookshelf, right? We're learning knowledge. We're learning brain knowledge. There is also bed. Bed. There we go. I can't learn nothing from that. Alright. Alright, I must have learned already about that. Alright, well, we learned a lot of new items. And I'm pretty certain the way to get the so-called research paper is we gotta dive deeper into the Thaumonomicon, which is here. So in order to get this, we need lore fragments, and honestly, I don't know how to get them. While experimenting with bee breeds, you must run across a strain whose intellectual capabilities are a match for your own. Maybe, however unlikely that is, it's possible that you may unearth some obscure reference or a snippet of information that your great intellect may have missed while exploiting the greater mysteries of the universe. Should your helpful buzzing friends happen to locate this sort of items for you, it may be possible to combine the scraps together into something a little more cohesive. War fragments. How do you get war fragments? That's my thing. War frag. They come from bees. So the Scolari Queen specs. It's 5% to either get that or a few percent to get war fragments. Any type of bees can give you this. So we gotta find a bee. So we gotta scoop. We gotta get a scoop. I need.
This has made us guilty, but looking at the facts, etc. business. The robbers knew what day the millers were paying their taxes and what time, and the car came from the front, not the back. Exactly. They knew the route in advance. Okay, let's pull this thread, see where it leads. That's where I can see it. Oh, Iglesias. Yeah. Make sure Cole doesn't go anywhere. Yeah. Nice work, Jesse.
There's also bees in the caves, which is also something I noticed throughout the area. Maybe these aren't the ones I need, so I gotta find. Huh? Is this some type of glitch? Crazy. Very crazy, indeed. Gotta find more items. Oh, I can also discover a bunch of these guys here. The makeup. But you can't learn anything from these guys. So maybe we can learn a few things or two about other stuff. I want to learn a few things or two about obsidian. Here we go. I learned a lot. I'm also getting very, very cold. Uncommon for me to get cold. There's a 5% chance we may get the so-called the stuff for the lore fragments. The lore fragment will come from some type of bee. I don't know the name of the bee, but I'm pretty certain it is a type of bee. So we have to continuously find beehives and chop them down as much as we can. So if I can't find any, I go back home. We'll learn a little bit more about the whole thaumcraft. Try to get more mobs to work. We don't have enough room in the house to place our bees. These are the meadow bees, and these are the other bees. Because they're not the bees that we need in order to get our lore fragments. So we're gonna have to look them up somehow. Like I said, not gonna be enough room, so we have to constantly create room.
Well, he was shot, and you think he's doing it. Don't tell me to calm down. You can tell the growers in the mafia, you tell them to calm down. See, I know how to do my stuff. Kid thought it would be hip to grow legal weed while they're sticking ducks.
I've been here for 30 minutes trying to figure out a thing or two about thaumcraft,
Please.
and I failed to learn a bit more. I'm trying to get research paper, you guys. So I just don't know how I'm gonna manage. So we're gonna figure this out together. We're gonna find out how we can get it. But I don't know how. Ore fragments can come from the scholarly and then the savant bees. These are the ones we need because I don't even know where they're at. Normal workers, nocturnal. Get these from the books. The book said nocturnal.
Who are you, old man? We want to talk to the sheriff.
Who am I? West Fox? I'm the son of a bitch that's been growing on this mountain since before you were born.
All right, Dad.
You need to learn your history. If there was a Mount Cushmore carved into this mountain, my face would be on it.
Dad, I know you're all concerned. Rest assured.
Alright, we're gonna go discover a bit more. Oh, there is something here. You can learn this. Anthrobloom. I'll be able to learn a little bit about this. That there. I need to find the ones that are nocturnal. Probably won't learn anything or two about the situation. And what they mean by nocturnal is, I'm guessing, they live underneath, is what I'm trying to get at. I'm guessing. That's just a little guess. They probably do. There's a lot of animals that are nocturnal. And they do live in like areas that have less light. So have to find an area that has a cave system. Maybe that's what we need. A cave system that has bees. Because the nocturnal bees are the ones that are underneath. These are the living bees. These are the ones that are known to be up also, the noises of these damn animals, I know it's kind of crazy. I don't know how to manage. But I don't see no bees. I'm thinking because if they're nocturnal, they should also be down here too, right? Let's check. Opal. Just know I'm looking. I'm not gonna stay long. There is a bunch of mine. There is a mine shaft down here too. Need to find the. Like nothing's down there.
Oh, hey. Jeez.
There's a bunch of stuff down here though. Just not a lot. There is a lot of quartz down here, I just noticed. Quartz are definitely a thing. anything up here either. But I do have to find a way out of here.
Muscle memory just.
I don't know if I probably will be able to find a way out. So. First, let me find these damn bees, and then I'll make my way out. I don't think ravines even remotely have them. But, yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here, because it seems like I can't find any of the stuff. So I'm gonna call it a day.